Morning, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earthwatch, Friday, March 28, 2025. I'm more awake now, so I can do my follow-up discussion on the Myanmar 7.7 earthquake, what I believe is happening. Just happened, continues to happen. It's not the first time. So I was sound asleep when my earthquake app went off, and believe me, it's quite loud. So when I saw the magnitude, I felt that I should get my butt downstairs and get all my computers started back up and see what's going on. I was still half asleep doing that video. So the earthquakes are continuing. However, the aftershocks are not grouped or confined together around the epicenter. They seem to be spreading out. I've seen this happen before. Let's go through some explanations. A tower collapsed approximately 1,000 kilometers away in Bangkok. I've been in construction, including high-rise construction. I don't know what the practices are in Thailand. It could have been shoddy construction on the foundation. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that site was located directly on top of hard bedrock, so when that seismic wave hit, that's all it took to bring down that high rise. Possibly. Nobody knows. There are other taller high rises swaying back and forth, the water from the rooftop swimming pool is sloshing over. You've seen that lots of times in earthquakes. Now, as for the tsunami boys, 1 minute. As for the tsunami boys, now these boys take 24 hours to reset. So this is from last night. So we have 6 tsunami boys that go into event mode, not as a result of a actual tsunami, but rather the seismic wave spread so far to send call it a jolt through the ocean plates. Give you some idea of distance involved. So our earthquake epicenter is approximately right here. So the first one's going off in the Bay of Bengal. We're about 1,200 kilometers away. And then the entrance of the Indian Ocean, Timor Sea, is approximately 4,500 kilometers away. And the ones in the Philippine Sea are approximately 3,200 kilometers away. So that seismic wave, that shock wave, spread all around and is slowly working. It's going to stop here at the Himalayas, or should. Now, folks, I've seen this happen before. So in January 9, 2023, there was a 7.8 earthquake at the Banda Sea Arc, right here. At the same time, 2 tsunami boys in the Philippine Sea, approximately 2,700 kilometers away, went into event mode. I'll explain shortly. Short time later, on January 17, 2023, there was a 7.2 earthquake northwest of Sulawesi, Indonesia, right here. 5 minutes later, there's a deep earthquake off of northwest New Zealand, 4.7 at 600 kilometers depth, approximately 6,000 kilometers away. Now for my explanation. So those of you who are new here, a mantle plume or super plume, which is a hot column of magmatic material. It is anchored to the outer core of our planet where our magnetic field is generated from. The outer core is absorbing the cosmic radiation from the sun, the galactic radiation from outside the solar system, and a visiting radiation from Sal. So a mantle plume rises up through the mantles. The mantle plume head. When it comes to the underside of the lithosphere in which the crust and the oceans sit upon, you have a mantle plume head which can spread thousands of kilometers in diameter. It is my theory that the mantle plume head can have branches, arms, nodes pushing underneath the crust. So with the 7.8 earthquake in the Banda Sea, for example, earthquake, and another branch or arm 2,700 kilometers away pushes up on the ocean floor, sets off the tsunami buoys. Same thing 2 weeks later with the 7.2 Sulawesi. 5 minutes later, a deep earthquake off of New Zealand. Same situation here in Myanmar. But what if we have an expanding super plume developing that sent that shockwave thousands of kilometers away? It is also understood or believed we have magmatic bodies or provinces in the mantle. Some theorize it looks like this. Another example could be the LLSVP. Now, this is something like my suggestion, my theory. Not quite. So this would be the outer core. Mantle plumes are anchored to the outer core. And I theorize that it has branches or arms or nodes like this. Mantle transition zone is a depth of 410 to 660 kilometers deep where deep earthquakes commonly occur. So if we have what I call a magma wave action coming up, a pulse of energy or the hotter magma, one can go this way causing an earthquake, one can go this way thousands of kilometers away pushing up underneath the ocean floor, activating a tsunami buoy. So once again, the mantle plumes, which are anchored to the outer core of the planet, where a magnetic field is generated from, will rise up through the two layers of the mantle to the underside of the lithosphere in which the crust sits upon. So it was the end of 2022, going into 2023, I came up with a theory of the mantle plume. My suggestion was that if we have an expanding super plume, and I put it, let's say, underneath Australia or thereabouts, I then said that if this is true, and if it's expanding, if it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, then you're going to start to see earthquakes around the perimeter of Australia, an increase in earthquakes and heat detections. And speaking of heat, April 23, 2023, there was a massive heat in the Andaman Sea off the coast of Myanmar. Thursday, April 13, same thing, large heat spread off the coast of Myanmar. Two separate times, October 2023, and the between Indonesia and Australia, a massive, huge heat spread, at least 400 separate detection points on one day, and then a couple of weeks later, at least 200 again. While this is unfreezing, I'll take you to another one. I'm going to stop people. Everywhere. Right up to the Java Sea. So East Timor Sea entrance into the Indian Ocean. So I've shown several times my explanation for tsunami buoys going to event mode thousands and thousands of kilometers away from an earthquake epicenter. I've never seen anybody else give their explanation of what's going on. In fact, I completely ignore them. It shows you some either one, serious motion underneath the crust, or some serious seismic wave spreading. 4,500 kilometers away to the East Timor Sea entrance into the Indian Ocean. Some of these buoys, so there's several locations around the planet where a buoy will go into motion in the absence of an earthquake because they are anchored to the ocean floor. So if you're going to have any mantle plume activity, push up or subsidence, that's going to put the buoys in motion. These are the East Timor Sea, the most infamous one, Andaman Sea off the coast of Myanmar, among other areas. Philippine Sea, this is the second time now. This gives you an example of how vast the energy from the vent can spread. 1,000 kilometers to Bangkok to collapse a tower under construction. Other high-rises swaying back and forth. Finally, thank you, Arnold, and Kevin especially. Thank you for your support. Very much helps. Until further notice, this YouTube thing, a lot of it is new to me. I only just started to monetize myself recently. So I'm smart at doing some things. I'm not so smart at doing other things. If you wish to make a donation to help me out, on my YouTube cover page, there is the PayPal link. I'll include it in this video. It's easier for me to transfer those funds because, thank you, Kevin, and I'll talk to you later. Through a super thanks link. I'm having problems. I had to get through that. So just make it a standard donation if you wish until I get this sorted out. And I'll be back later today. I'm in southern British Columbia. They're still forecasting the possibility of severe thunderstorms, hail 1 to 2 inches in diameter, etc. So I have to think about my solar panels I have outside. I'll come back.